Hi, welcome to Algebra 2, Chapter 7, Lesson 3. Today you're going to be learning about solving radical equations. Okay, radical equations are pretty simple. I mean, they're pretty self-explanatory. They are basically equations with a radical. So, in order to solve radical equations, you have to get rid of the radical. But what you need to think about, what you need to think like, is this radical is like a bomb. And so you need to get everything away from the bomb before you mess with the bomb. Okay, so on this first one, I need to get everything away from that radical, this part of the equation before I can start messing with the radical. So I have the third root of x minus 2 equals 0. I'll just go ahead and add 2 on both sides. So the third root of x equals 2. And now I can start messing with the bomb because everybody's behind the protective equal sign so that they don't get blown up with the bomb. And I am going to get rid of a third root, I raise it to a third power. Whatever I do on the left side, I have to do on the right side. So that third power gets rid of that third root, and I'm left with x equals 2 to the third, which is 8. Okay, I'll do the next one with you, and then you're going to do the third one yourself. So this is the bomb. I don't want to mess with the bomb until I've gotten rid of the innocent bystanders by it. So I'm going to add 4 on both sides. And this is the square root of x equals 4. I get rid of a square root by raising it to second power. So x equals 16. Okay, so you go ahead and you do this third one, pause the video, work it out, come back and check your answer with me when you're done. You should have solved this one on your own. I'm going to subtract 3 on both sides. This goes away, and I end up with the third root of x equals negative 3. Now I'm going to start messing with that radical. I'm going to raise this to the third power. I'm going to raise this to the third power. That exponent 3 gets rid of the root 3, so I end up with x equals negative 27. Okay, well sometimes there's stuff underneath the radical with the x. So again, we have to get rid of all of the innocent bystanders before we start messing with that radical. So I am going to get rid of everything before I start messing with that. That's the bomb, and I don't want to mess with it until everybody's behind the protective area. So, use the inverse order of operations. I have subtracting 1, so the first thing I'm going to do is add 1 to both sides. And I end up with 3 square root of x plus 4 equals 9. That goes away. And that 3 is multiplying with the radical, so I'm going to divide by 3 on both sides. And I have square root of x plus 4 equals 3. And now I can start messing with the radical because everybody's behind the protective equal sign. So this is a square root, so I'm going to square it. And remember, squaring gets rid of the square root. Whatever I do on that side, I have to do on the other side. So I end up with x plus 4 equals 9. And now I'll subtract 4 to get that x on. So I know that x equals 5. Okay, if I go over to this one over here, this is the bomb. I don't want to mess with it until everybody's behind the protective equal sign, so I'm going to add 2 on both sides. And I have the square root of x plus 1 equals 5. Those cancel. To get rid of the radical now, I square on both sides. All that squared does is get rid of that radical, so I have x plus 1 equals 25. And now I can finish solving it. Subtract 1 on both sides. And I end up with x equals 24. Alright, so sometimes we have more than one radical involved, and so more than one bomb involved. And so I want to divide the bombs up so they're on opposite sides, so they're not together, and one goes off, it'll make the other one go off. So I want to separate those bombs out. So I am going to move this entire quantity over here, right? So it's minus x square root of x plus 1, so I'll add the square root of x plus 1. So I'm left with square root of 2x over here equals the square root of x plus 1 over here. And now I can start messing with those bombs separately. So I'm going to square this because I want to get rid of that radical. And I'm going to square this because I do the same thing to both sides. All that squaring does is get rid of the radical, so I end up with 2x equals x plus 1. I'm going to get all my x's on the same side, so that's minus x, and I end up with x equals 1.